found a whole bunch of things that I wanted to comment on. So I looked at the lyrics for Take Me Back.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know, because Rocky forgot the lyrics on that song, but we're live now.
Yeah.
Is anyone watching this?
Yeah, we got one person. Let's see, I think we got one person watching. Let me check it out here. Yeah, we're on. We're live. Okay, I didn't want you to notice because I wanted you to just keep talking. You were saying, though, what were you talking about? The lyrics to Take Me Back? Go ahead, start talking about that.
In that scene, he only could sing the first couple of verses and then forgets.
All right. Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, we'll get to that. But before we get there, let's just do our hellos. Hey, welcome, everybody. This is Going the Distance, the Rocky Series podcast, or the Rocky Series podcast, Going the Distance. Let me just do the house, what do you call it, house cleaning? Or
housekeeping.
Housekeeping thing. House cleaning. I'm tired. Housekeeping at the beginning of the show. So, as you all know, this is the YouTube channel. This is the YouTube video. The audio edited version will come out in about 2 weeks. But if you're watching this now, you don't have to listen to the podcast. So that's fine too, because you're listening to the podcast on YouTube. So basically, you can listen to us on YouTube. But if you want to listen to us on YouTube, be sure to hit subscribe. I'm not sure where it is on the YouTube, but it says subscribe. And when you subscribe to our channel, you'll get alerts saying, hey, they're live, or we have a new video up.
You hear us in the raw, folks, before Ryan edits out all my cursing and stuff that's inappropriate. So you get the real version here if you listen to it now.
That's true. That's actually, Kyle brings up a good point. Sometimes we tell maybe an off-color joke, a little bit of blue humor here and there. The audio version, you could say, is pretty PG, pretty PC and PG. We're a little bit more loosey-goosey when it comes to the YouTube. Nothing that terrible, but maybe some of our jokes are a little bit off, a little bit not too PC. It might come out naturally as we talk, which I have the luxury of editing when we're not live, which goes for anything. Anything that's live, it's kind of sometimes stuff just comes out of your mouth.
Yeah, but they notice that in all the videos, Ryan.
That's true. Hey, 1 second, Kyle. For some reason, the person who's not talking is not being shown again. I don't know why it does that. That's weird. I don't know why last time it showed the videos and this time it's not.
Are you talking to me? I can't. Okay.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, but then I lost your camera. I've totally messed things up here. Oh my goodness. What have I done? What have I done?
Well, 1 sec.
I hear you, but I don't see you.
Hold on.
Now I'm gone.
I deviated from the page. I was going to send a text and then, okay.
There you are. Okay, so you're there, but I'm not there. Oh, you're gone again.
I keep trying to get back on, and it says I'm already in a call.
Okay.
And I push OK, and then it sends me away again. So I don't know.
Let me try something.
I might.
People are watching this disaster. This is why I love. This is why I love live. Anything can happen. We officially start at 9:30, which is now. Let's see if we can figure this out. What I can do is I think Oh wait. So why am I not being shown? That's what I want to know. So what I can't
actually see you or anything.
Okay, I'm going to hang up this call. I'm going to hang up this call.
Okay.
And I think we can re-invite ourselves, so just stand by.
Okay.
No. Continue broadcast.
Oh, here we go.
Right there, you're in it, but I'm not in it. But you can hear me.
I can see you and hear you.
Oh, really? Okay, let me just look at the YouTube feed. Sorry to our one viewer there. What's going on? Yeah.
You can watch us screw up there.
Okay, but I'm not coming up on the YouTube channel. Dope. Here I was trying to be all clever and everything, and I'm messing everything up.
All right. And that one viewer isn't you, right?
Oh, we got 2 viewers now. Well, they see just you, even though you see me. So let me just. Why am I not being shown here? Can you see me now?
I can see the whole time.
Okay.
Still see you. I've seen you before. I've seen you now. This is going to be my new face.
Okay. There we go. Can you see me? Everyone can see me?
Yeah.
All right. Hey. All right. I think we got our technical difficulties worked out here. Can you still hear me, Kyle? That's all that matters.
Sure can. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, welcome, everybody. We got one person watching. Hang in there. This is the Rocky Series podcast going this. I did all that stuff already. We got Kyle with us. My brother Ruben may not be on tonight after all. He's with his daughter at a dress rehearsal for a play that they're doing. Fortunately, it's just taken a lot longer than he anticipated, but he may pop in later. So without further ado, cue the music. Good job, Kyle. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No problem. You could. I'm giving you the rights to that, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You could use it anytime.
All right, so Kyle, why don't you start? Talk about. So 1 second. Just to give me a 1, 2, 3. Count to 10 for me for a second, because you're not coming up on the screen now. What have I done? Only I'm there.
2, 3, 4, 5. What comes after 5? 6.
Yeah.
7, 8. Whatever. No one cares about me anyways. So they could just hear me.
You. Well, they just hear you, but that's no fun. Say something now. Count to 10 one more time.
Okay. Ryan, I'm talking and counting to 10, and no one can hear me.
Why are you not coming up on the screen? This is terrible. This is the worst episode ever. All because I was trying to show how awesome it is. I can change camera angles or whatever, but I've hidden you in the process. Oh, well.
You know, whoever is watching this, if they haven't given up yet, if they're 16, they're probably like, who are these two old guys that can't figure out how to get a podcast working?
Well, the important thing is...
they don't know the technology.
The important thing is they can hear us. I think I might have figured it out. I think we're good to go. Okay, so Kyle, go ahead and let's talk about where we left off last time was, Paulie and Rocky had the big fight in the garage. Paulie literally was punching Rocky in the arm. He asked for a job. Rocky said all you have to do is ask. And the next scene is the infamous Rocky and Adrian on the bed scene. Let's talk about that.
So we learn about Rocky here. Not only is he a good boxer, but he's also a vocals coach. So, well, first I want to back up a little bit. In this scene, you first see where Rocky lives. I think right. You don't see that before. I don't know. Maybe in that beginning scene, you might see a little bit, but you see his house. You see they show a full shot of his house. He lives in a really gigantic mansion. I don't know how many square feet that thing is, but it's certainly an improvement over the steel frame and solid oak floors of the house in Rocky 2. So Rocky's obviously making some bank. They're in his swanky bedroom with the cushioned headboard. It's
a beautiful house. You're absolutely correct. That's a good point. This is we saw scenes during that opening montage of Rocky 3. We saw, the Christmas and birthday, but we never saw an outside shot of the house. So it definitely is a huge mansion, very swank. Rocky is moving up in the world. His family is living the high life, absolutely living the high life.
So maybe you can understand a little bit why Paulie was pissed because he's living in that crap hole in South Philly. You see Rocky laying there in bed with Adrian. Rocky doesn't have his shirt on. He's looking ripped.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's their first kind of intimate moment that we've had with these two. I mean, we had them kissing on their first date, and then we had them, when they got married, they kiss and spoke at each other. Yeah. But now we see that Adrian's very comfortable. We see now that Adrian's very comfortable with a half-naked Sly in the bed there, and
she's digging that.
This is where we first get the first hint of what's to come after this scene. Adrian asks, "Are you really going to fight that wrestler?"
He's none too worried. But she first asks if there's any problems with Paulie, which I think we talked about last episode.
Sure, but touch on that again.
Well, Rocky says, nothing unusual, which probably isn't a lie. This crap probably happens with Paulie on a fairly regular basis. We know at least one time when he was swinging a baseball bat at them and their relationship survived that. So, there's probably lots of moments in that time where Paulie does crazy things like that.
Paulie causes issues for these two, and that's kind of hinted at with this conversation. And then Rocky comes out to the bed, lays down next to her, and Adrian says, "Hey, you're going to really fight that wrestler?" And he says, "That's all right. It'll be fun."
Yeah, he has no idea what's coming.
The segue is hilarious because, they go from talking about Paulie, then she asks about the wrestler, and then he goes, You mind if I serenade you?
Mind if I serenade you?
Yeah, well, you think he's trying to get laid? I think he is. I think he wants to de-stress from that fight, have some intimate time. He's showing off the bod here, and I think he figures his next move is a little bit of serenading. That's my theory, at least. And
Sure. What I love is that he's still good to go here. I mean, this is what 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. Although I guess if he doesn't have to work in the morning, I guess he kind of does actually. He has to go fight ThunderLips, but he's obviously none too stressed about that. But
Yeah, are we to believe? I guess we're to believe in the timeline of the movie that the charity match is taking place immediately after the scene, but we can assume that this could be a week before the fight, 2 weeks before the charity fight. But it's not presented that way. It is kind of presented that he bails Paulie out of jail at 2 or 3 in the morning. He gets home, has a conversation with Adrian, and he's so awake, it's so good to go that he's like so non-stressed about fighting ThunderLips that he's like, let me serenade you. And this is where he goes into the famous do 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 do.
Do 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 do. What's your part?
Oh, what are you doing?
Come on, you can do it.
No.
Do 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 do.
hold on, Ryan. I wrote something down, and I was watching this just 10 minutes ago. She tries to get out of this, the serenading. She tries to make up an excuse, which makes no sense. Quiet, Rocky. You're gonna wake the baby.
Come on, Rocky. You're gonna wake the baby.
Adrian, let's do a duet.
Now, 2 things here. 2 things. One, there's no baby. That kid can talk and walk around. So
anytime your child can wipe its own bum properly and pour its own bowl of cereal properly, it's good to go.
2, the second thing is that house is ginormous. I'm sure the kid's room is not that close by, probably. And they probably have a nanny or something for him. So that's just bullshit. Sorry for the language. Yeah, not buying that, Adrian. Rocky walks right through that. He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care if it wakes the kid.
She goes, what are you doing? Come on. And then he goes, come on, you can do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I love how, I love how when she tries to do it, she goes, do. It's like...
Do.
Okay, so let's just pretend for a second. Let's role play here for a second, Kyle. Okay,
Are you Rocky?
Well, no, I'm Ryan and you're Kyle.
Okay,
we're just gonna role play here. Okay.
All
hey,
right.
Kyle, do you mind if I serenade you?
Not at all, Ryan. Not at all. I was hoping you would.
Okay, and I want you to repeat back the serenade that I've given you. And now you've never heard the song before, but let's see if you could do it. Want to play along?
I'm feeling a little pressure, but sure.
Okay. Fi.
Fee. I mean, 5.
It's like all you have to do is phonetically repeat what I've just said. She's incapable of it's okay if you can't sing or don't know the song, but if I say do, and then you come back and go dip, dump. It's like,
you know what Rocky should have said to her? This is exactly what Rocky should have said to her at this exact moment. And he missed this big time. He should have been it looks like you're the one that can't sing or dance.
Yeah, touche.
But that'd be mean. That would ruin his chances at his ultimate objective here. Oh, I was going to mention something that it just slipped my mind. Oh, shoot. Continue. I'm sure I'll remember it later. I was going to say something else about this scene. This is bad podcasting. Anyways, let's just keep going.
No, you're doing fine.
I think it's funny that he's singing this particular song. Because this is a song he just heard some guy sing on the street in the first movie. And so maybe it's not like it's a popular song. It's presumably a song that guy made up.
Okay, keep going. Let's talk about that. Because the Rocky character is singing a song from the movie soundtrack. Now, but the song doesn't exist outside the movie, like in the movie world. No. The song exists in the movie universe, but it exists as a song sung by street people around a burning barrel in the corner of Philadelphia.
Which arguably is what Rocky's most familiar with, but that's one of many songs. The real reason this song was sung, I think we both know why, is I think Sylvester Stallone's mission is to try and make his brother as successful as he possibly can. That song I checked, that song was written by Frank Stallone, performed by Frank Stallone. in the
Yes.
first movie. Frank Stallone will appear later in this movie. I don't know if you guys talked about it before, but they tried to get Frank Stallone to be one of the title defenses against Rocky in that opening clip.
We haven't talked about that, but on that same vein, there's actually, if you go on YouTube, there is video of
Yeah, I've seen
Stallone.
that.
Yeah, Stallone and Stallone.
Yeah.
Frank and Sly duking it out. Apparently got pretty serious. Got kind of heated there.
Yeah, well, the one I saw was Frank was just going crazy at him in the corner. And then Sly just hit him once and he went down. That's the one I saw. But yeah, so it seems to be that nothing against Frank Stallone. Like I think he's a talented musician. Seems like a nice guy in all the interviews I've seen him on. He has an awfully big shadow next to him in his brother, and I think his brother's trying to help him get big. But it's
Well, he's family, loves his brother, and I think they really do love each other. Like on Instagram, even at their age, you see them on Instagram together at each other's house, hanging out. So Stallone Sly has always been there for his brother, but to be fair, Frank has a pretty comparably successful singing career to a lot of artists out there. Like if he goes on tour, people show up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Frank, if say Sly didn't exist and Frank Stallone had the exact same career he does now, then it'd be pretty impressive, right? But the thing is because you have that last name, you're automatically compared to your brother.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, well, you're not nearly as successful as him. Well, most people aren't.
No.
Like a very small handful of people would be. So, like I said, I didn't want to take a dig at Frank necessarily, but just in case Frank's watching, obviously.
Oh, of course he's watching. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate your support. Rocky is now correcting Adrian, saying that's good, but it's not do. He goes, it's do, and then he's like, no, that's you.
It's good, but it's not dodo. It's do.
Do.
That's good enough. Do.
And she's so like crazy shy. Like I get being shy. Look, to be fair, I don't think Becky, my wife, would sing with me. She's kind of shy that way too. I don't think she would just be like, "Hey, Ryan, I'm going to sing back to you." So it's not for everyone to sing. So, she's not comfortable singing.
One sec, Ryan. Hey, Brittany. Do you be a very temporary guest on the podcast just for like 2 seconds? We're going to do a little experiment, okay?
Sure, yeah.
You won't be seen, okay? Okay. So my wife's like in her pajamas, so I'm not going to show her on the podcast.
Well, Adrian's in her pajamas too.
True. Brittany, I'm going to sing something to you. I'm wondering if you could do your very best to sing it back to me. Just repeat after me. Just very, very quickly. Do, 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 do.
Do, 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 do.
She wins. She wins. All right, thanks, Brett.
That's great. So she did go do.
Yeah, I don't know why she did that.
Imagine if she did do. I would have jumped off my seat.
Yeah, I would have. I've made her watch the first movie, but I don't think she's watched any of the other ones. So it wouldn't be like she's just doing it to play along either. It would have been legit.
Her instinct was to go do, but she actually just repeated phonetically what you said to her. That's awesome.
After that, he sings a little bit and then says how he forgot the words to the right. He says, "I forgot the rest of the composition."
Yeah, he gets to take me back like before. And she goes, "What's the matter?"
Yeah.
"I don't know any more of the composition."
Yeah. And then she says, which I think she's changing the subject, but she's like, "We're very lucky." But she could mean that they're very lucky they don't have to keep singing that. I don't know.
I think she's saying, I think she's playing along saying, we're lucky that you have forgotten, so I don't have to hear you sing. You don't make me sing, and we can just move on. But then Rocky gives one more romantic do just before he starts macking out with her.
The Rocky strategy seemed to have worked.
He's not called the Stallion because of his strength in the ring.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Here's a little bit of trivia. What charity was Rocky wrestling for?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Well, I only know because I'm looking right at it. The Youth League benefit.
I was going to say something about kids, frick, but no, I wouldn't have guessed that specifically, no.
I love how it's the Youth League. Like, hey, what, where are you going tonight? Oh, me and Charlie, we're headed over to the Youth League.
Yeah.
Like, what do they do? Are they just a league of youth?
In New York, it'd be the Ute League.
Is this? I don't understand what that means. Youth league.
Maybe it's like the YMCA or something like
I
that.
guess
You
so.
know,
Says here that the Youth League benefit presents Battle of Champions, Rocky Balboa versus ThunderLips. And they have here ThunderLips as being one word, by the way. One word, ThunderLips. Yeah. So at ringside, we have Dennis James with Jim Healy.
Yeah, what happened to Bill Baldwin and Stu Nahan? Maybe that's just too low brow for them to comment on, because they were there for the Clubber Lang fight.
But yeah, this is a different event. I mean, it might involve Rocky Balboa, but it's not commissioned by the boxing people. So we know that all the
And then you have that announcer guy too, though. He's like right beside them. He has like the really crazy mustache.
Yes.
And you see him in the next movie.
You know, the job's a job, right? You know, he'll announce the Youth League benefit, and he'll also announce the championship match. All the proceeds are going to charity.
So Rocky's not making a dime off this.
You got Rocky in the ring. He's cheering to the crowd. He's waving. You know, he's having. You can tell on his face he's here for a good time. He's here for the youth. He's here for his community. Just to put on a little bit of show here.
Yeah, he's not worried at all. He just thinks it's probably this did happen in real life, which maybe it has. I don't know. If it did, I'm sure they'd just be goofing around, right? It would be nothing like what we're going to see here.
Yeah, they're definitely just goofing around. So Adrian's looking pretty, as always, at ringside with her son, Robert Jr. Well, he's not a baby, but he's between 4 and 6. I would say he's between 4 and 6.
I don't know if you know this about Robert Balboa. He has some properties where he can change age very quickly. He could be a baby one moment and then 4 or 5 years older, just at a different moment.
Right. That's true. Rocky's kid does age very weirdly in this series, but so far the first 3, it's pretty spot on.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm just making fun a little bit.
No, but the biggest jump, as we know, and I can't wait to talk about it, the biggest jump, of course, will be from 4 to 5. That was I always say that's one long layover between flying from Russia back to California.
Definitely. He doesn't live in California. He stays in Philly.
Now, we talked about it on one of our earlier podcasts, but the actor that played the son, do you know about him?
In this movie or in 5?
No, in this movie, the child actor that plays Rocky or Robert Jr.
No, I don't know anything about this kid.
Yeah, well, she is our age.
She transgender?
Yeah, so the actor is transgender. Robert Jr. is now Roberta Jr. Sorry.
Okay, cool.
We want to get her on our podcast. I haven't contacted her yet, so actually seeing this reminds me. I actually want to get her on the show because, one, I want to talk about her experience as a child, being on the set of Rocky 3 and being around Stallone, and because she's actually my age.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Her name now, I think, is Ina Fried instead of Ian Fried. So Rocky's in the ring, and the question by the announcers is, they ask, what's the outcome for this match? The wrestler versus the boxer. What's the outcome going to be?
Yeah.
The age-old theory is that the wrestler, once he grabs that boxer, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, he's like, well, the age-old theory is, which I guess it's been discussed.
Okay, I love it. The age-old theory. Yeah, there's been like a fighters guild where they discuss
is once the wrestler gets a hold of the boxer, then that's the end, or there she wrote, or something like that.
That's so interesting.
Oh, I want to say something. Speaking of the audience, we see Clubber Lang in the audience watching the fight.
Yeah, he's in the beginning montage. We talked about that he's in the beginning montage. So he's definitely
he's in the audience of this fight.
Yeah, well, he's stalking.
He watches all of Rocky's fights live in person, so he's kind of stalking him. But I noticed something interesting about Clubber here. He's like, am I going too far? Am I too ahead here?
I haven't gone to that yet. They just finished the theory.
Okay, never mind. I'll just comment about once we see him. I want to make an observation there too.
Mickey now asks Rocky, "What the hell goes on inside your head? Anything normal?"
Oh yeah.
What the hell goes on inside your head? Anything normal functions?
The few.
I don't think so, because to fight a creature like this, you gotta have about 100 pounds of brain damage.
Yeah, I love how he's choosing now to have this argument with Rocky in the ring.
Yeah, well, he says I can't remember what it is, or I know you can see the caption, but he says something that's not like proper English.
But he's talking now. He goes, "I've seen wrestlers that were bigger than dinosaurs.
I seen wrestlers that was bigger than dinosaurs. You ever fight a dinosaur, kid?
No, not lately.
They can cause a variety of damage."
Yeah. Yeah, Mickey obviously doesn't have much faith. No one really. It seems like Rocky's the only one that doesn't know what's going to happen. The announcer knows, Mickey knows, Paulie soon knows.
He's like, you ever fight a dinosaur? They can cause a variety of damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, these lines by Mickey, they're so great. A, how he delivers them. And I always wonder, though, is this all Stallone's writing, or is this Burgess Meredith winging some things? Like, I really want to know which is which, or is a bit of both.
Well, I think this sounds like Stallone. That's kind of almost the way Rocky talks, too. He says variety like that in one of the films. Something like a large variety of dogs or something like that. Or he says large variety of something.
Okay.
Earlier in one of the two films. So I'm thinking that's probably Stallone writing the script.
Oh, okay. So now ThunderLips has entered the ring. Now, keep in mind, now we'll talk about it. The actor, the actor playing ThunderLips is playing a wrestler, and he's a wrestler in real life. Obviously, we're talking about Hulk Hogan. Now, this was 1982, so this was 35 years ago. How old was Hulk Hogan in 82? Let's find out.
He would have been about 30 or so. I think he was born in the 50s sometime.
Yeah, he was born in
Late
53, so he was 29 years old here.
Yeah. Which he looks older than that, but that's kind of what we were saying. People in the past looked older, it seems.
It is weird. Yeah, like he's 12 years. Okay, look at my face. Look at my beautiful face. Now think of ThunderLips in Rocky 3. This face that you're seeing now is 12 years older than ThunderLips.
Yeah, you guys look about the same age, really. Like, you look similar.
It's wild.
Maybe he looks a little older because of the mustache. But I'm 33, so he'd be, like, I'd even be a few years older than he would be in that scene. So, I don't know. Paulie sees ThunderLips in the crowd, and he's like, why are they carrying him? And Mick's like, they're not.
Why are they carrying him?
He's walking.
He's walking.
Yeah, I love that. One sec. What is going on here? The camera's not switching back and forth. It's okay. Our one viewer, it's okay. They've been looking at me while you talk, and you talk while you're looking at me. But I don't know what is going on here.
Matt, viewer, whoever you are, thanks for your patience, bro, or sis.
Yeah. It's not automatically going back and forth to whoever's talking. That's the problem. Don't know how to default it.
Shucks. Well, you're figuring out. I'll say a couple things about ThunderLips here. He's disliked by the crowd. Everyone's booing him. And he seems to enjoy that. I think he likes being the villain. He has his entourage of ladies with him who are very good looking. His persona is almost kind of like a sex thing, which is weird for a wrestler. Like, it's ThunderLips, and then he's like, he said something sexual when he went up to the mic to announce himself. Like, it's kind of odd.
Yeah, he goes, okay, one sec. Well, let's first talk about his name, ThunderLips. I mean, it's a horrible name. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. Yeah, I used to watch what was WWF as a kid. I don't remember any characters with names like that. Unless they're one of those ones that you never heard of that were obviously there to lose, which someone of Hulk Hogan's caliber certainly wouldn't be.
Okay, so Hulk Hogan at this time is 29 years old, and I don't think during the filming of this film, I don't think he had or very close to being. He wasn't quite the Hulk that we know today. I think now. Of course, there's gonna be some wrestling fanatics out there, but I know when the movie was released, he was big. But you have to keep in mind, films are usually filmed a year to year, almost a year and a bit before they're released. I think principal photography when it took place, when Hogan first joined the wrestling world, he was actually a heel. He was a bad guy, and so in this movie,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so in this movie, he plays a heel. So I remember when I was a kid, I knew who Hulk Hogan was. And so when I saw him coming out playing ThunderLips, I remember being like, oh, that kind of sucks. He's not the wrestler. He's not Hulk Hogan. He's ThunderLips. He's a pretend wrestler, ironically. Yeah. So I remember when he came out and then he was bad, like kind of a jerk. Even as a kid, I knew that I didn't get the sexualization that he was doing because I was a kid. But I knew that he was kind of whatever my brain as a kid could understand, that he was a jerk. He wasn't very nice. He seemed really angry and wanted to hurt Rocky. I didn't understand that. So I remember even as a kid being disappointed a little bit that my hero in wrestling that I thought was real and all that stuff at the time was kind of a jerk to my other hero, which was Rocky. Yeah,
that's kind of two competing, clashing worlds for you. I didn't research this right before I did the podcast here, so my memory's foggy, but if I recall correctly, Vince McMahon, when he saw this come out, was pissed. He did not like that Hulk Hogan did this. And I think there was some sort of reciprocity or consequence to it.
Well, I was working for Vince, but right after I took the part, he fired me.
Why?
Mindset, barbaric mindset. You know, if you're a wrestler, you don't do TV, you don't do commercials, you don't
Really?
you don't do.
This is junior or senior?
Senior.
Really?
And so senior, you know, and actually the truth was he had me booked. I was in Fall River working a house show. And the next day I was supposed to, that night after I finished, they put me on before intermission. I was supposed to drive from Fall River and be at TV for Crockett.
Okay.
It was either in Atlanta or Charlotte, I can't remember, at noon.
Right.
So I was going to drive all night to go to TV. And I called Vince, you know, who I was kind of like Vince's boy, young boy coming up. And so I called Vince at home in Fort Lauderdale. I said, hey, Vince, Tony Gurria just told me I had to be at Crockett TV at noon. I said, brother, I told you like 2 weeks ago, you know, that I was going to do this Rocky movie. And Vince Sr. goes, no, you're not doing that movie. And so when I called him at home in Fort Lauderdale, he says, look, if you do the movie, you will never work here again. I went and did the movie.
Comes out, everyone's booing ThunderLips. Mickey say, let's call it off. And then Rocky's like, come on, it's for charity, man. Relax.
Yeah, I love this scene. I love this lines.
Let's call it off.
Oh, come on, it's for charity.
You're wearing your anatomy out for charity. Nobody else does this much for charity.
Bob Hope would.
That's true.
ThunderLips is coming out there. I'm coming after you, Balboa.
I'm coming after you, Balboa.
Yeah. Mick's like, why are we going to do this for charity? No one else does this for charity. And then he's like, Bob Hope would. And Mickey's like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
he seemed kind of surprised that Rocky said that. I almost wonder if that was like, I don't know, ad-libbed or something.
I always wonder about for these movies. And movies in general, there is a lot of ad-lib. Like everything we see is not the first take. You know, there is dialogue that they memorize, but the actors are just people who get bored on set. Who knows what kind of banter they have. And when Rocky says Bob Hope would, I love Mickey's expressions like, yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah. Which is, you don't hear Mickey say stuff like that very often.
The announcer says, here comes ThunderLips. What a sight. All decked out in red.
The wrestling champion of the world is now entering the arena, and I'm telling you, he is quite a sight. All decked out in red.
What a description for the audience. All decked out in red. His robe is horrible. Absolutely horrible. It's got the big silver lips on the back of his red robe.
It's like, just put him in the back of that thing. You might as well just get away.
See, that's the part that we have for the PG audio.
No, you keep that in. I said the correct term like that.
Terrible. But yeah.
Just giving Ryan some editing work.
Yeah, thank you. And then ThunderLips goes, here you go. Someone yelled, okay, right here. I gotta screen capture this. So that's great. So ThunderLips opens up his robe wide like this.
Yeah.
And then somebody in the audience yells, he's a flasher.
He's a flasher.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
That's what I love about the closed captioning. You get some of the post dialogue, like the post recording dialogue. The crowd yells, he's a flasher.
He's a flasher.
Oh, I love it. That's fantastic.
Oh, it says like, welcome to my love slaves out there.
That's right. To all my love slaves out there.
All my love slaves out there. ThunderLips is here. In the flesh, baby.
When I told people that we'd be doing the charity match for one episode, they're like, really? I'm like, there's so much to talk about. How can you not? ThunderLips is here in the flesh, baby. And then you have Adrian, in the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's realized her husband's going to get mangled.
Well, I think it's a combination that she's both in shock and awe of this massive male. She's like, I got to fear this guy, but, hey, ThunderLips is in the flesh, baby.
In the flesh, baby.
This is a possible cuckold situation, right?
Oh, stop. This is terrible.
I'm getting lots of editing work.
Then we got the ultimate male versus
the ultimate meatball.
The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball.
Oh, I love it because he's Italian. You get it? He's Italian.
Yeah, I honestly didn't make the Italian connection until just now. Just till you
Are
said
you serious? You're joking.
Yes. I feel really dense. I feel like it's like when you said that, I'm like, you really should have known, Kyle. You should have known.
That is crazy. Are you serious? You never. I think even as a kid, I got
Yeah.
the joke.
I know, Ryan. I'm so.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. I'm embarrassed.
That is embarrassing. Wow. Let it be said that Kyle, the Rocky fanatic, didn't catch the Italian meatball combination. Oh,
Maybe I'm so pure, Ryan. I'm so pure.
Oh,
that
sure.
racist stereotype just go right over my head.
Yeah, but don't let that stop you with the ThunderLips.
Yeah. Oh, I can go all day about that stuff.
Then they got the announcers. Everyone's just having a good time. The announcers saying, "How much would you take to even get in the ring with him?"
Would you start at Fort Knox?
Boy, he is a monster. How much would you take even to get in the ring with him?
Would you like to start at Fort Knox?
That's so stupid. Okay, how much is Fort Knox worth? I don't even know. What's in Fort Knox?
Okay, that's where the United States' gold reserves are kept. It's in Kentucky. And so like all their gold bullion, like literally tons and tons and tons of gold.
Okay, so there's currently 147 million ounces of gold in Fort Knox right now.
Gold's currently priced at about $12.80 an ounce.
There's about $250 billion of gold in Fort Knox.
I'd get my ass kicked by ThunderLips for that. I'd be willing to do that.
I would actually go a lot less. You don't have. Would you start at Fort Knox? Can we say this is the first MMA fight that we've ever seen?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I feel bad that Rocky's wearing gloves.
Well, because it's a charity fight, so I think the idea is, the idea behind this is that it's I'm fighting in my element. My element is I'm a boxer. I come with the boxing gloves. And then, of course, the wrestler's coming out with his wrestling entourage with the girls. That's his gimmick. His gimmick is there was that guy in WWE later, the pimp, whatever, the Mac Daddy pimp or whatever wrestler.
It's interested in wrestling, so I didn't follow it to that.
Well, this was in the mid to late 90s. I forget his name, but he was like, and his girls were called the Ho Train.
Come get on the Ho Train. Pimpin' ain't easy.
Oh my God.
So ThunderLips actually had his own train of females coming out with him, but he didn't call them that in this movie. This movie's still PG. Okay, where are we at the fight now? The fight hasn't even started yet, Kyle. This is crazy. Okay, where are we?
Have they showed Clubber Lang yet?
No, they haven't. Let me just get to it.
Man.
Well, there's a lot going on. So in the white corner, at an incredible sight.
In the white corner, an incredible sight, standing nearly 7 feet, weighing 390 pounds.
Nearly 7 feet. So I'm 6 feet. He's a foot taller than me. And so 390 pounds.
That's right. 390 pounds. That is a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's he's almost twice Rocky's weight.
And now he says the biggest arm in the world as he kisses his bicep.
It's the biggest arm in the world.
I think he's a little exaggerating a little bit.
But you have to remember, when I was a kid when this came out, I remember telling everyone, Hulk Hogan has the biggest arms in the world. Like, you have to understand, when I'm a kid, I believe they're telling the truth about some things in their life. I think he would talk about that even in the wrestling ring. He'd talk about his 22-inch biceps or whatever.
22 inches is a lot. I don't know what mine is, but certainly not 22 inches.
No, yeah, my pipes are about, yeah. So the announcers say, a man who calls himself the ultimate object of desire.
A man who calls himself the ultimate object of desire.
What? The sex thing is so weird. Like,
Or not done yet. He's the mountain of molten lust.
The mountain of molten lust.
So it's clear right now ThunderLips is a sex addict. There's no way around it. Potentially, he's a criminal.
He's a mountain of molten lust. Come on, that's pretty good. Like when Stallone was writing these nicknames for ThunderLips, I wonder if he was hearkening back to his party at Kitty and Stud days.
Yeah, don't get it. Oh man, well, it is like a mountain. It's like a volcano, just waiting to explode, right?
I know. That's what I'm thinking about. He's a mountain of molten lust. Like there's no innuendo whatsoever.
None. I can't think of any.
Oh my goodness. Okay. ThunderLips kisses the sky after he's announced, and he yells at the crowd, "You're all trash! You're all trash!" I love it. I love it. And then in the far corner, the Slugger from Philadelphia, and the crowd goes wild.
The Slugger from Philadelphia.
When the crowd goes wild for Rocky, ThunderLips goes insane. He gets angry. Ah! How can they cheer for Rocky? He goes, "You better shut up."
I'm going to break him in half like this. And then Rocky's like, "Hey, how much do you think he eats?"
How much do you think he eats?
About 202 pounds.
Weighing 202 pounds, the reigning heavyweight champion of the world, Rocky Balboa.
And then Mickey's like, about 202 pounds.
The announcer's about to say, in this corner, weighing 202 pounds, the timing could have been more perfect.
And then Mickey's like, "Oh yeah, I'm right."
He was pretty proud of himself with that.
Yeah.
So Stallone here is looking incredibly in shape. It's amazing the shape he's in.
It's like a gigantic, which is interesting because his fighting weight in the second movie was identical at 202 pounds. So he hasn't lost or gained any weight, but his physique is completely changed. I don't know what his actual weight is. Like if like the Stallone's weight was when he did this. I'm sure it was different though than in the second movie.
I don't think he was as heavy as they were saying in this movie.
And they kind of allude to that in the film about how he slimmed down a lot.
Right.
A little spoiler. In the second fight, he slims down to 190 pounds, which barely makes him a heavyweight.
No spoiler there. That's fine. Now we get our first sighting of Clubber Lang. It was just after Rocky Balboa's announcement that they showed Clubber. Now, what I love about Clubber is he's dressed. He's dressed for the event.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's in a tuxedo. Not just like in a suit or something, but like he looks like he's going to a wedding or something like that.
Well, I love how it's a charity event. Here's a guy who's like, you got the feeling he's kind of poor, like he doesn't have a lot of money. But we saw during the opening montage, he went to like 6 championship fights. Those can't cost a pretty penny to watch Rocky in the ring. But we see that he's got money for championship fights to attend all those.
Yeah, he lives in Chicago. A lot of these fights were in New York. They show things of like Radio City Music Hall and other New York landmarks when you're having these fights, right? So probably none of those fights. Oh, some was in Caesar's Palace in Vegas. So Clubber would have had to hit the road. Unless he had a fight already in one of these cities, but it's just a movie.
All right, so now we've got that infamous scene where Rocky and ThunderLips meet each other in the center of the ring.
Yeah, and ThunderLips. Never mind. Yeah, they haven't actually started fighting yet, right? They're just they're touching gloves or whatever.
Yeah, this is where the refs give him the rules. And what I love is, like, we often see Stallone kind of filmed in a way to make him not seem so short with his co-stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this scene, they totally play to Stallone being shorter to make ThunderLips seem that much more of an opposing giant.
Yeah. Is Hulk Hogan really near 7 feet tall?
I don't think he's 5 feet tall.
Well, no. What?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, he's probably closer to 7 feet than he is to 5 feet.
Well, I know that, but I'm curious to see, like, if Hulk Hogan is 7 feet tall and Rocky's 5'9", that's a massive height difference. Like,
he is exactly 2 meters tall.
Okay, so he's 6'6" or 6'7".
6'7". Good job. So if he's wearing boots, he can be about 6'9". So 6'8".
So pretty tall compared. So he's about a foot taller than Rocky.
Yeah,
and about 100 pounds heavier.
I say in real life, that is quite a difference. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be like me fighting like some 12-year-old who's like super skinny, right? Like it wouldn't go well.
Something's going on with Hogan's hair here at the top of his head. It's really odd.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, it's weird.
His hair seemed really thin and straightened in this scene, if I remember right.
Oh, it might be just the lighting, but yeah. Goes, "You're in trouble, Buster.
You're in trouble.
That's what he told him. I'm going to break him in half like this.
I'm going to break him in half like this.
Rocky goes, seems like lately everybody wants to beat me up.
Seems like lately everybody wants to beat me up.
Oh, and then he said earlier too, he's like, hey, I was wondering if we can like get a Polaroid or something like that.
Listen, after the match, how about we get a Polaroid together, okay?
Yeah.
And then he shoves Rocky into his corner. And that's why Rocky says, looks like everyone's wanting to beat me up.
So this is the advice Mickey gives. Stay away, make faces, move around the ring. Got it, kid?
Stay away, make faces, move around the ring. Got it, kid. All right.
Hey, you know what? Actually, this is a good foreshadowing for Mickey's advice for the subsequent fight.
How so?
Mr. Clubber Lang, as people might guess from his the fights they showed there, is utterly devastating toe to toe. You'd have to, in order to effectively fight him, you'd have to have greater movement, stay out of his way, get out of his range. And you basically would have to do something similar with ThunderLips here because it's someone who's much larger and more powerful than you are.
We won't get too much into that, but yeah, you're right. So that's the same strategy that he'll use later. Absolutely. And then, of course, Paulie says, he is the ring.
All right, he is the ring.
Yeah, which I think is a stupid comment. Just Paulie's being dumb.
And then another great line is Mickey says, I get nervous every time he does that when Rocky prays in the corner.
Yeah, I get nervous every time he does that.
Yeah, so we're just getting one line after another. That's what I mean. Rocky 3 is kind of a short film, but there's like so much that happens so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of one-liners and stuff like that, I think.
So now the bell rings. Finally, the match starts. And ThunderLips right away comes charging at Rocky to smash him in the back of the head with his arms. And Rocky just gets out of the way. Paulie gets kind of hit and falls out of the ring.
Yeah, it seems like ThunderLips hit that thing so hard it was going to come off. Like he was really like you see how like that's ingenious that they use that as the first part because you immediately see how powerful he is. There's a difference in seeing how big someone is and then you see that in motion. Like not only is he big, but he's agile, he moves fast. Like he went across that ring real quick.
Absolutely. Rocky's like, listen, we'll just move around the ring a little bit, give them a good show. We'll take it easy. You move pretty fast for a big guy, but let's just, put on a good show.
Whoa, you move pretty fast for a big guy, you know that? Listen, why don't we just move around a little bit, like give him a good show. First I'll chase you and you chase me, okay? How's that? All right?
He gives these little punches to his chest.
Here you go. Is that okay? That hurt, all right?
Don't mess with me.
How's that? Okay? Not bad, huh?
And you could see like his chest muscle wiggling.
He's like, first I'll chase you, then you chase me. So he's trying to give ThunderLips a couple of, like choreography type tip fights to get around the ring to put on a good show for the fans.
Yeah, Rocky, I'm not giving him much credit here. Like the whole time he thinks it's a joke. And I can support that at the beginning because you probably would think it's just pretty chill. But you'd think after him like smashing into the corner like that, you'd get the idea that like, you better be careful around this guy.
Yeah, so now let's just talk. It's going to be hard for us to talk verbatim about what's going on here, but now poop hits the fan for Rocky. He does a couple little shots to ThunderLips' chest. Does that hurt? Is that okay? Is that too hard? And ThunderLips then just grabs him and clobbers him in the back. And you actually see here just really the size difference between Hogan and Stallone. Second point I want to make is, and I'll just tell anyone who hasn't seen this film, it's kind of obvious everyone has, listening to this podcast, Stallone does his quote-unquote stunts. That's Stallone getting chucked around the way. Any way you want to cut it, he's getting lifted up, he's getting suplex, he's getting body slammed, and even that backbreaker shot they do, he bends pretty good there.
Apparently that that messed him up pretty bad, that backbreaker one I was reading about.
It's hard to watch. So
they make a cracking sound effect too, right? But it probably actually did sound something like that.
So now he's getting clobbered, and this is where ThunderLips goes, think it's all fake, Meatball? All fake?
It's all fake, Meatball. All fake.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask about that because I'm glad you have the captions on because what I heard when I was watching it is it's all fake, Meatball. It's all fake. I didn't understand that. I'm like, it doesn't look fake, but then think it's all fake makes way more sense.
Which I find interesting because nowhere has Rocky said to ThunderLips that it's fake. But this might have been the early days of kind of the exposure that wrestling is scripted. And not to get into too much into wrestling, but wrestling's only fake the way that a fixed boxing match is fake. Meaning it's scripted in that you will be the winner and I will be the loser, and I'll do my finishing move on you, and you go up for the pin count. But these guys, anyone that says these guys don't take hits, bumps,
They're incredibly athletic. A wrestling match like the WWE or WF, whatever it's called, like it's a performance.
absolutely.
It's not like you said. It's not like a Olympic wrestling or a boxing match or something like that. But like these guys are incredible. They're doing things normal people couldn't do. They're slamming each other from the top ropes. They're doing all these things. Like you try and get fake clothesline by someone and your back hits the ground and not be winded.
You can't put your arms behind you. Like when they get body slam, rule number one is it's called taking the bump, and you can't put your hands behind you when you get body slam. You'll break your arm at that velocity. Yeah. So they have to take the bump with their legs. You lift up your back, put your feet down a little bit, and you have to take the bump. But I guarantee if you have a 390-pound man lift you up over your head and throw you, it's going to hurt.
And you know what's funny? When I was watching this, there's a lot of times you can't see Stallone's face. So you're tempted to think maybe there was there could have been a stuntman, right? Now, I believe you that he did his own stunt.
Knowing Stallone the way he is, every single thing in this, I'm pausing it right now. Like even when he just got thrown in the ThunderLips throws Rocky into the turnbuckle and he yells, "Life's tough, Meatball!
Life's tough, Meatball!"
And he throws him into the turnbuckle, and that's Stallone's. I've got a pause right now, and that's Stallone's face. There's no CGI.
That's his face. No, yeah. I understand. There's certain other scenes though where his face isn't shown, but I still think it's him. Yeah, I'm just saying he had an out. He could have used a stuntman if he wanted to.
If he wanted to, yeah. Rocky's getting tossed around, so he's got the backbreaker. Go to that backbreaker scene. That's brutal.
I think that actually messed him up in real life. Like I'm pretty sure he broke a rib or something.
He is getting destroyed. So when you watch this movie, it's kind of weird now because we know that the movie itself is scripted in the sense that, but again, taking these hits and these falls for the actor, Stallone, you still have a 390-pound man landing on you, throwing you around. And we know that Stallone is not opposed to getting hit and getting broken up in the ring for any movie. He's done it for so many movies. I'm surprised he's still alive sometimes.
Yeah.
But what's amazing though, within the film itself, Rocky himself is actually he's really getting hurt.
One of the announcers is like, Balboa is really in pain.
Balboa is really in pain.
Yeah, that's right. So the announcers are like, we know that wrestling's fake, but he's really in pain.
Hey, Ryan, just a second here. My power just went up 5%.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to run and grab my charger. If you just could stall for me for a minute, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll keep talking to the audience here. The big I'll just talk to the audience. So the big backbreaker scene's coming up here, guys. And this is ThunderLips yells out, "If I can't break your spirit, I sure as heck can break your back."
I can't break your spirit. I sure enough can break your back.
If you want to think about it, that reminds me of when Bane broke Batman's back.
Ah, yes. I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit? Or your body?
I don't know. That's what I thought of. So he puts Rocky in the backbreaker, and of course his kid asks to Adrian, "Is Daddy having fun?" And Adrian goes, "Of course."
Is Daddy having fun? Of course.
Hogan, or I should say ThunderLips, does his famous finishing move, the leg drop, and then he does a suplex on Rocky. And this is a great sequence here because it's done in slow motion. Rocky's up in the air, he's getting suplex, and it's just a great scene. And then we have ThunderLips elbowing him in the back of the head. No one can believe the superhuman strength of ThunderLips.
No one can believe the superhuman strength of ThunderLips.
This is that great scene where you've got Stallone in the air being held up by Hogan. And I guess to Hogan that's a pretty lightweight compared to him. And ThunderLips yells out just before he throws Rocky out of the ring, "I am the man."
I am the man.
ThunderLips yells out to the crowd, "You want this punching bag?" And then Rocky yells out, "Adrian,
you want this punching bag, Adrian?
Rocky!"
Yeah.
And then Adrian yells, "Rocky." That's a great sequence there. Rocky is thrown into the crowd.
Yeah, and then ThunderLips doesn't just stay in the ring either. He's taking his fight out into the crowd too. So the match is no longer in the ring anymore. He's fighting security guys. One of the security guys gets punched in the face or in the head. And now he's in the audience looking to finish Balboa off.
Oh, yes, buddy. Okay, well, I'm on camera right now, buddy.
No, Mommy, sit next time.
Okay, I have to talk to the audience here.
Yeah. So why don't you talk about Hogan or ThunderLips doing destruction there to everybody while I floss my kids' teeth?
Yeah, okay. I got this, bro. I can do this. Right now, ThunderLips, he's fighting with the security people who don't stand a chance. And then he gets into the audience. And so Rocky realizes that he has to do something to fight ThunderLips. And he calls Paulie over. And he's telling Paulie to take these gloves off. And so Paulie's trying to do this as fast as he can. Luckily, Paulie has a switchblade. Maybe he just carries a switchblade with him all the time. I don't know, kind of sketchy, but he uses this switchblade to cut Rocky's gloves off. And then Rocky immediately gets back into the ring to challenge ThunderLips. Now, Adrian is saying, "What are you doing?" Mickey's saying, "Like, are you nuts?"
I'll be right back. You maniac! Come back here! What are you doing?
Come on!
We missed something big, actually. One of the things that happened when ThunderLips went into the crowd and right before Rocky came back is Mickey seems to be suffering some kind of pain.
Yeah, the stress of the match is caught the stress on his heart. So you see the foreshadow of him clutching his chest. Oh, this is rough on me. Yeah.
Yeah, so Al Savani, the cut man, is the only guy that notices this. Rocky doesn't notice. The crowd either doesn't notice or doesn't care. But then Mick kind of pulls through as maybe some angina instead of a heart attack. And I could say that, Gina, Ryan. It's okay. That's different.
I know, that's what it's called.
And so I don't know if you heard all what I was saying before, Ryan, but I was just talking about how Paulie cut Rocky's gloves off and Rocky was going back into the ring. And then Mickey and his wife are saying, like, "What the hell are you doing? Are you nuts?"
Good recap. Rocky gets the gloves cut off. He goes in the ring. He says, "Hey, come on, come fight me." And then ThunderLips, I love how he goes to the ring and he slams his hands on the ring and it kind of shakes the whole arena.
Yeah.
It's like this superhuman strength. But what I love about this sequence is, and maybe this was where Vince McMahon was mad about, because Rocky body slams him.
But like, you mean throws him under the ring, or?
Yeah, because there was a time that to be body slammed or to be lifted was kind of like, if you were a wrestler that got lifted up, you're kind of like not a superhero anymore. And so I don't know, maybe having Hogan lifted up by a little Rocky, and then Rocky throws. I love how he throws Hogan or ThunderLips into the ring, and everyone just loves it. It says here, the human skyscraper has been thrown out of the ring by Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Rocky actually did it. A human skyscraper has been thrown out of the ring.
Yeah, and you barely got him out. Criticizing, that's 400 pounds, so that's a lot to hold up.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's 390 pounds. Think about lifting up your own kid who's like 5 years old. Oh, you got a little bit of weight to you. You know, he's just a 5-year-old kid. Now try to lift up your teenager. Now try to lift up yourself, and then lift up something that's 150 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah.
So Stallone did that. He lifted Hogan up. I don't care how you cut it. There's no CGI, no wires there. He had it because he was struggling. The struggle was real. What you saw Stallone shaking there, it was a real effort.
No, props to Sly for that. That's a pretty impressive feat of strength.
And then I love how when ThunderLips gets thrown out of the ring, the bell rings. Like that was the end of the fight. Like, okay, yeah, now ThunderLips got thrown out of the ring. We can call the fight.
Yeah, that guy's like, it's a draw, and then he like gets the hell out of there. Like there wasn't any.
All right, that's it. Time is up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a draw. Thank you one and all for attending the 12th annual charity match between the Italian Stallion Rocky Balboa and ThunderLips, the Ultimate Male. See you next year. Thank God.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have your decision, or nothing like that. It was just like,
this was the 12th annual charity match.
So I wonder what they were doing before that. Was it always a boxer? Was Apollo ever in one of these?
Well, probably, maybe. Well, no, because this is Philadelphia. This is the Philadelphia Youth League. So this was the 12th one. So this would have started in 1970.
Well, Ryan, there's one thing we got to point out. The movie came out in 1982,
right?
But the movie is set in 1979. It's set 3 years after Rocky won the championship.
Okay, no, because how soon after the rematch was the how many months after the rematch?
9 months after. Like 9 or 10 months.
So it would have been 70.
It's still in 76 because the first match was Jan 1, 76. It was New Year's Day.
Okay.
And that wasn't quite 77 yet when they fought. They reference 3 years all the time in this movie.
Oh, so they were saying 3 years since Rocky 2, because that's how long it took to release the movie. But in 3 years of Rocky's life, yeah, it would only be, okay. Oh, that's crazy. Oh,
Yeah, because like the second movie came out in 79, even though it was supposed to be immediately after the first movie. So yeah, they can't make movies in real time for that.
Hey, I just want to thank our two viewers here. Thanks for watching, guys. We're almost done. So you went the distance. We're almost done. Just want to thank you. If you want to give a shout out on our live chat, say hi to see who it is. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we'll give you a shout out. So now ThunderLips comes over to Rocky and says, "Hey, good match." And Rocky goes, "Why'd you get so crazy on me out there?"
Good match. Hey, why'd you get so crazy on me out there?
Yeah, that's not what I would have said to ThunderLips if I was Rocky. That was pretty gracious to say that.
And ThunderLips' response was, "That's the name of the game."
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I understand now. And they got the Polaroid that Rocky requested.
Yeah, they were doing selfies back then too. You know, can I have a picture with you? But it's just Polaroids. He goes, "While you're still calm."
Well, listen, while you're still calm, can we get that Polaroid together?
Yeah, sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's like you're gonna fly off the handle any moment or something.
And I love how ThunderLips is like, "Yeah, sure," but he's thinking about it for a second.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So after he says that's the name of the game, and Rocky says, "While you're still calm, can we get that Polaroid together?" Just to the left, Kyle, of the scene when he says, "Yeah, sure," Burgess Meredith, he is laughing so much.
Probably not supposed to be.
No, because it's just off screen, and I'm watching right now, and Burgess Meredith is just busting the gut. He's bent over laughing.
It could be a laughing heart attack crime. You never know.
He just can't believe it. So Rocky says, "Adrian, come over here. My wife, Adrian, my kid."
Adrian, come on over here. My wife, Adrian, my kid.
Oh, I love this interaction with the kid. So Rocky picks up his kid, and the kid's like, "Ouch, that hurts." He's like, "Yeah, that's okay, whatever."
Al, would you do that? Okay, that's all right.
His poor kid. Oh.
It's not like sorry or anything. It's just like, yeah, you'll be fine. You know, like man up a bit, okay? I know you're only 3, but
he goes, "That hurt." I love how they kept that in. Like they couldn't have edited out the that hurt. Like Stallone actually hurt the kid in real life.
Yeah, maybe that was Stallone just being a jerk to that kid. It'd be like, "Hey, we didn't pay you to say that."
He goes, "You know, sometimes charity really hurts."
You know, sometimes charity really hurts.
ThunderLips smirks at that. He thinks that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's a great shot. That, my friend, is the end of that charity match. The infamous, famous, whatever you want to call it. There's still more to talk about. I just don't want to bore our audience. There's so much to talk about in that match, but
you know, Ryan, I believe it was last episode. I was surprised that you were planning to do the episode. Like you were referring to that earlier. I was like, "Oh, you'll get through the charity fight pretty quick." But you were right. You were right. That's a gold mine.
Thank you. So we have here Wednesday, May 15th. This took place. Oh, wow. Wednesday, May 13th or 15th, 1982. The Bulletin reported this. The Bulletin is dedicated to serving Greater Philadelphia and South Jersey. Check this out. So it says Rocky and ThunderLips raised $75,000 for youth club.
It? The newspaper says 82. Then the movie technically takes place in 82. Then it's just that them saying 3 years is wrong.
They were kind of treating the release of the movies with the same timeline as the Rocky universe.
Yeah, because it's like this happens again. Like, for example, Rocky 4 is supposed to happen in 84.
Yeah.
Or 85. And it's like, Apollo, you've been retired 5 years, they say.
Right.
And Apollo would have been retired nearly 10 years at that point.
$75,000. That's it.
Now, $75,000 was more back then. That'd be more like $175,000 now, but still.
Yeah, fair enough. What we talked about earlier in the other episode, Ruben, during the early montage, Rocky was part of Phone Line Charity, and they raised like $250,000 for that.
That was significantly less physical trauma.
Yeah, no kidding. And then what I find interesting here is text underneath the headline has nothing to do. The story, it says, until last year, Keystone had most of May to itself, but last season, Monmouth opened May 1st, causing slight but painful drops in business and horse population at their key. Keystone's management was annoyed, and there has been talk of... So anyways, the story underneath the headline has nothing to do with the headline.
The producers of this film did not anticipate people like you and me, Ryan.
No, they did not. So that is the end, my friend. I told you that was going to take a whole episode. There's no way. In fact, we went a long time. Granted, we had about 15 minutes of technical error. So if you've gone the distance, thank you for going through that technical error.
Once you cut all my sex references, this episode should be like 45 minutes tops.
Well, it's not really your fault. It's actually kind of ThunderLips' fault.
It totally is.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, thanks for coming on and filling in for Ruben. Again, Ruben wishes he could have been here. I always feel bad doing an episode without him. It's just, as you know, life is busy. You know, I'm a father of kids, you're a father, and work, and I work, and he works, and we all have these different schedules. So I always want to try to get an episode out every week. So sometimes not everyone can be there, but he wishes us well, and he wishes he could be here. But Kyle, thank you so much. Do you want to take us out?
You're welcome. Yeah. Oh, by the way, it would have been a two-parter if Ruben was here.
Probably.
Farewell, folks. Have a good night. I'm bad at this crap with podcasts, so you're going to have to take over.
No, you're supposed to go out with what's our signature to go out with?
I can't. What's it supposed to be? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Ding, ding.
Oh my goodness. I got to get a new guest host. You're terrible. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody.